Hello Booklings, here we are, bothering with another episode. You can still run away from these recommendations made by two maniacs, but if you decide to stay, let me ask you this. What's wrong with you? Anyways, I'm here with Wilson, and we're talking today about the books we just read and highly recommend for you to read.
These recommendations are based only on our preferences. Still, we are going to give a full description of each and every single one of the books, including what is the book about, the public it is headed for, and our personal ranking. I do have to warn you, my darling viewer, that one of the books isn't published as of yet, since the format it is presented can cause some controversy. Still, it made it to the list because of the quality.
Exactly. Now, the books we're going to share with you this week are a series of David Williams books, Un Jardín al Norte by Boris Izaguirre, El amor en los tiempos del cólera by García Márquez, Metamorphosis by Kafka, and Fair Winds and Following Seas by Eglinton.
The first recommendation isn't a book, but more of a handful of books written by the same author. Funnily enough, the books are for children mostly. Still, that doesn't mean they don't address sensible topics such as death, bullying, and the problems a kid can face. The titles of the books on this first recommendation are The Boy in the Dress, Gangster Granny, and Billionaire Boy.
The Boy in the Dress is about, as the title says, a boy that decides to approach a more feminine side from him. His father being against it, but something happens that changes the father's point of view. Gangsta Granny approaches both how people take everything for granted and how people handle loss. Billionaire Boy tells you how even the people with comfortable lives can still suffer from common things like bullying.
So, based on what you just told me, Vanish, how would you rate these books? 1 to 10.
Right, I think that the fact that it touches some taboo things for kids, it makes it special. So, and as you said, it's an easy reading, right?
Yeah. I mean, if it was my personal rating for the three of them, I would give them a 10. Since they are made for children to read, the stories are like very easy. They don't complicate themselves. So you don't really get bored at any moment. There's something always inside of you that it's keeping you there at the edge of your seat, wanting to read more and more and more and to know what happens at the end of the chapter. And when you end the chapter, you just want to keep knowing until at one moment you just realize you finished the book.
Yeah, so you will give it a 10, right?
Yeah, 10.
I think I will give it a 9. Now, let's talk about our second book, Un Jardín al Norte by Boris Izaguirre. This book tells us the story of Rosalind Fox, a British spy from the Second World War, and her story about how she stopped Spain from going to the Second World War. So as you might think, the emotion in this book never ends.
The only thing I could say I didn't really enjoy about a book is, at least for me, I mean, it's my favorite book, but it's like the only thing I would change. The first third of the book it's simply too long and too boring. It's not boring. It's interesting, but it's slow. Like the author, what is Zaire? It's a great author, but like I don't know. It took me to put in perspective. The first third of the book I read it in like a month. The other 2/3 I read it in a day. Without a doubt.
And this first third is about the childhood of Rose.
No, but I do have to say, it's mainly about their childhood, but there are some bits that this is the reason I would say this book is not made for people under the age of 16. They're like dads, punches, everything.
Okay, so it's great, but you need to be patient.
Yeah, not
right?
everyone can read it. I would say 16 years above.
Okay, so
9 out of 10.
I think, yeah, for me I will give it a 9 out of 10. Okay, so our next book is titled El amor en los tiempos del cólera by Gabriel García Márquez. Okay, so this book narrates the story of Florentino Ariza, who used to have a relationship with Fermina Daza. and years later they reunited, but had to go through infidelity, emotional maturity, and it has a very interesting themes about what love really is.
So you're telling me, because I've never read the book, so
Okay.
I can't really say anything about it. But from your point of view, you would say that the book is about love triangles and how love works.
Oh yes, because so these two characters also have, as you said, a love triangle, very difficult, and it has a lot of drama and a lot of
I like that.
like emotional roller coasters. The thing is that okay, they end up together, but they had to go through a lot of things.
No,
Yeah, like you even get desperate for this man because he slept with too many women. Okay, I'm sorry, but I think it's I don't know. It's great to read. I mean, even it's from Garcia Marquez.
Yeah, no, Gabriel Garcia Marquez is one of the best authors out there.
Yes, I think you cannot expect something
Less than
less.
great from Gabriel Garcia. Yeah, no, to
Exactly.
agree in that bit. So you would say this book, you would recommend people above 18 to read it, or maybe not above 18, but they should have a maturity.
No, yes, exactly. I mean, to be honest with you, I read it when I was like 13
Oh my
years
God.
old. Yes, I was very shocked.
But like Gabriel, it's not like very explicit with everything.
No.
Or he's like, so we'd say like above 13,
Yes.
13,
Yes, if maybe 15.
15 because
Yes.
of the whole triangle thing.
Yes, and you need to.
I mean, it's not
It
that
opens
that's
your
just like a
eyes.
triangle. It's more
No.
like
No, it's
one
like
bit
triangle number
thousand.
3.
No,
Yes.
yeah.
But yeah, I highly recommend it. I think I will give it a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. I think I would give it 10 out of 10 if I read it, but since I haven't read it, 9 out of 10.
Okay,
Just because it's Gabriel Garcia Marquez.
totally agree.
Well, our next book is Metamorphosis by Kafka. I think people should read this. Well, basically, to tell you a bit about the story, it's about Giorgio Samsa, and it follows his travesty along the world. And basically, not to make it like long, Giorgio Samsa, in order to keep food on the table for his family, he's forced to travel and work a lot, spending little to no time with his loved ones. Out of nowhere, though, one day he just wakes up and, surprise, surprise, it's Beetle. Oh my god. But he really didn't mind if he was an insect or not. He was more worried about bringing food to the table for his family, sustaining his family. In the end, he dies. I'm going to say it, spoiler alert, he dies. But I simply love when stories are like these abrupt, have these abrupt endings where people perish. And, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, this book made me think a lot about how if you're not socially useful, you're literally nothing. I mean, and how it surprised me when he wakes up, and I will freak if I woke up as a beetle.
I think everyone would freak out like, what the
Exactly.
what's that? What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly, but that he worries first about how is his family
Doing stuff,
doing.
yes.
Yes. So I think it's a amazing book to start, even in philosophy and those things.
Yeah, no, it's quite nice. I wouldn't find many stuff bad about it, but I think that's more based out of reader's perspective. So 10 out of 10.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. I mean, it's a classic.
Yeah, and I think everyone can read it. It's not that graphic, it's not that bad. Now, last but not least, Fair Winds and Following Seas by Eglantine. It's not actually a book, it's more of a fan fiction,
Okay.
but my god, it made it to the list for one specific reason. And I have to say, the way it is written, the way it is a script, I'm going to tell you what it is about. And for those people who don't know, the protagonists are Princess Anne, Princess Royal, the daughter of Her late Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II, and her second husband, Sir Timothy Lawrence. Basically, in real life, Princess Anne remarried Sir Timothy Lawrence in 1992. They didn't have children together, but they are like happily ever after. They are still married. They are this year 32 years married.
Okay.
So quite a long time. But in this case, in this story, the author decided to create her own alternative universe where Princess Anne was married before Tim, but she divorced like 10 years earlier. So in around 1985, somewhere in between there, she remarried Tim and they ended up having 4 children together.
Oh my god.
And it's just amazing. That's all I'm going to say actually about the book, but my god, the story.
Yes.
The way the author managed to simply start building up that romance.
Yes, you said it's her own universe
Yeah.
of what happened, right? And I think the fact that makes you love the story even more, it's Tim. I mean,
Timothy Lawrence.
no, oh my god! But they make such a lovely story because of the chemistry that these
perfect.
2 characters have. I think you read it and you feel the love. It's amazing. I mean,
It's far too great though, yes.
yeah, I love Valentine. Thanks for existing. I mean, you really gave the best royal family
about Tim.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I mean, I have read a lot of things because for me personally, the Princess Anne and Timothy Lawrence are the best royal couple there is out there. But this is just amazing. An incredible alternative universe that just simply wraps it all perfectly.
Yeah, as you said, it's too much
for
a person to handle, and it's the longest story.
Yes.
I mean, it's not a chapter. It's not 5 chapters.
No, it is approximately, with the bonus scenes that the author is still writing as of today, it's 100,000 words and counting.
And trust me, you don't get bored. I mean, will I ever have a team? Will I ever have a team, people? I don't know.
I don't know. We hope you have. We hope you find the team.
Oh yes, please, yes. So booklings, that's all for today. Hope you didn't sleep because these books are amazing, right, Wilson?
That's right. If we're making this type of recommendations, it's because they simply went above and beyond our expectations. And think of them as deserving of attention because either the plot is amazing or the book is so well written to be left unread. No, it's just they're great. Period.
Trust us, guys. We know what we're talking about. These books are like something you need to read.
Yeah.
It gives you a lot of perspective in a lot of things, and yeah, I think that's the great thing about this.
Everything for everyone.
That's right. And we have a surprise. Next week we will be reviewing some movies that are based on terrific books, so you better be here.
I do have to say, and add a comment in here, I can't get my head around on why directors find it so hard to capture a basic essence of a book, if I'm honest. But well, I'm going to
save
wait.
it. Yeah.
I'm going to reserve my comments for the next episode.
But I do feel you know? I think sometimes they should ask just another fan about what they imagine about the book, because just the directors can.
No,
okay.
they can't. But
yes,
let's save our recommendations.
Yeah, let's chill about it.
And if you are still listening to this boring and honestly dumb podcast, I don't really know why we have listeners in the first place. But well, I do hope all of you have either a pleasant or unpleasant week, whatever you lot fancy, really.
Me neither, Wilson. Me neither. I don't know why. Why?
Why are you listening to us?
I don't understand you people, but thanks. I mean, I really appreciate it, but I don't understand it. Okay, so I do hope you have a very good week, so you can hear us next time. So love you guys.
Cheerio.
XOXO.